AI isn't replacing developers, but it is changing what kind of developers thrive and what kind get left behind. Repetitive coding is getting automated, but strategic thinking, creativity, and human context are more valuable than ever. So let's talk about the developers that are future-proofing their career and how you can do the same thing. Hey, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Becca. I'm a full-time software engineer, part-time Pilates instructor, and someone with multiple different interests and multiple different passions. I love sharing bits of my life, insights into my career, tips on productivity, and everything in between. So if you enjoy this content, please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Okay, so first up, you have the multi-passionate, multidisciplinary type of developer. So these are the people that are interested in a wide range of things and they draw inspiration from all of these different places. They are good at strategic thinking, they are good at problem solving, but also creativity and thinking outside of the box. These are the people that are really interested in loads of different things and they stay curious about each of them. So maybe it's to do with tech, maybe they have an interest in particular parts, in different parts of tech, but also things outside of tech. And these people are great to work with in terms of a team player, in terms of getting on with different types of people and bringing a fresh perspective to everything that they do. They are great people for companies to hire because they're not narrow-minded in the way that they think. They can draw that inspiration from each of their different interests, their different skills, and bring it into their job. And because these people have a variety of interests and they're used to thinking in different ways and thinking about how to solve problems from different perspectives, they're able to kind of connect the dots that other people might not see. So they're valuable in terms of a business sense, in terms of different contexts, in terms of understanding people and storytelling and everything that you wouldn't necessarily think of as typical for a developer. These things can all feed into how well they do their work. Balancing this deep technical knowledge with cross-disciplinary interests and these problem-solving skills, I think can be so valuable. And I really think that tech needs some more well-rounded thinkers. Not just tech, but a lot of industries in the future when AI takes more of a role. These human ways to think about different things and draw inspiration from loads of different things and human experiences are going to be so valuable. It makes you a better communicator and a better collaborator. And not only that, but it will be so key when industries shift and people have to adapt. Because these people who are used to working in a variety of different ways and having loads of different ways of working and loads of different interests and hobbies and skills that they picked up will find it much easier to adapt to these changes across work, across industries, across their specific job role. So how can you work on this? I would say, first of all, don't try and suppress all of those different interests and hobbies and things that you love outside of work. Make sure you really lean into them and embrace all of the things that make you different and make you stand out. Maybe work on side projects that mix your passions with tech and see how those things can connect and what new things can come out of combining different things together. Explore loads of different things, try new things, read about things, and just really stay curious and keep that kind of energy going for all of these different areas of your life. Next are the type of developers that are able to translate between business and the technical side of things. So the people that are able to bridge the gap between stakeholders and technology. So these are the people that might not necessarily be the best coder in the room. They might not be a genius in terms of how to code the littlest details or the most optimal things, but they're the people that are able to understand that side of things, but also be able to communicate this to others who might not have that same technical understanding. If AI ends up playing a bigger role in code and tech and solutions, then these people are going to be even more valuable in bridging that gap. These are the people that are able to work with different people and able to communicate with all these different people across marketing, across sales, across operations, across leadership, and that technical side, and be able to break down all the tech in ways that are easy to understand and are able to add that human context. And this will make sure that the tech aligns with business goals and all the strategies and the strategic plan that is needed by the company. They also make sure that everyone is on the same page, because there can often be a mismatch between the technical side or the technical teams and the non-technical teams. So we need those people in the middle. If you work on this skill, it can mean that you end up being trusted by both technical and both non-technical teams. Now, there's a lot of developers out there who aren't great at the communication side of things, or people skills might not be their strongest asset. So if you're able to also be great and build upon those technical and those communication skills, you will have a massive advantage. You end up getting more involved in strategic conversations and becoming a figure of influence in all of these decisions across both sides of the spectrum. So how can you work on this? I'd say first of all, you really need to get good at being able to explain complex ideas and complex problems in simple terms. So a great way to do this is making sure you are working with people that may not necessarily be as technical as you are, and being able to understand the reasoning behind solutions and the different approaches to these people. And also just work on your people skills in general. Work on being able to present, but also have conversations and just be a human, have more empathy, stay curious about people, and as well as different solutions, but also people's stories and how people work. Figure out the differences in terms of how different teams like to work and how different roles operate. Another key type of developer is going to be the continuous and adaptable learners. So these are the people with an adaptation mindset, the people who don't mind new ways of working, they don't mind learning new skills, and they actually look forward to learning new things, and they embrace change. Technology in itself, let alone AI, changes so fast. We don't know what our role will look like in 2, 5, or definitely not 10 years' time. We're just guaranteed that things will change, and there'll be new ways of working, new processes, and new things to learn all the time. So it's so important to stay on top of all of these new things, to stay up to date with the key technology. I imagine that it will be so easy to fall behind. So the developers that will thrive, are the people that will be continuously learning and who will always be open to change. And I think it's so important to work on this skill, because you don't want to be left behind by this rapidly changing market, this rapidly changing career and role. So if you start now, you'll be a lot more confident to pick up tools in the future when things shift, including things to do with AI. If you start now, you'll be less likely to be stuck in this mindset of thinking, this is the way we've always done it, so this is the way we're always going to do it. And it will mean that you'll be able to pivot faster when new opportunities arise. So how can you work on this skill? I would say that you really need to get comfortable with learning new things. So make it a habit to learn new things all the time, even if it's just 10 minutes of your day. Think about reading up on things that are unfamiliar to you. In your day job, think about trying new ways of doing things. Think about looking at what other people are doing. Maybe they're doing things slightly differently to you. Maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. But always kind of analysing, is this the best approach, or can I try it a different way? And after you've done that, think about reflecting on your experience. Thinking about what went well, what didn't, and could you have done it a different way? Is there a better way to do things? So I think really staying self-aware and reflecting on everything at each part of the stage, and Another thing, staying curious. That's a common theme through all of these different developers. Staying curious and staying open to loads of different ways of working. Next is the product-minded developer. So thinking about user needs, not just the technical requirements. I think it's getting more and more important for developers to adopt this product mindset. So thinking about real users, solving real life problems, and providing meaningful value. Having this product first mindset will lead to work that is more applicable to real human experiences and will end up being a lot more valuable and a lot more personalized. So product-minded developers are able to think, who is this product for? What problem is it going to solve? And is it the right problem to solve? AI can't fully grasp or fully understand all of these questions or the solutions to them. So this is where we have that human edge. Humans have emotional intelligence and they have empathy, and this is definitely an advantage. We can prioritize features and trade-offs more effectively. We can come up with solutions that are more user-focused, and we can contribute meaningfully to product strategy. So how can you work on this as a developer? Ask questions about why you're building something. Again, linking back to that curiosity point, always questioning why. Have a look at user feedback, and maybe there are some sessions you can sit in. Talk to product managers and have a look at the roadmap and think about how all of these things align. And now we have the mentors and the leaders. So mentoring and sharing knowledge is such a big role of a developer, especially when you hit senior and above. And I guess you could argue that if AI were to take all of our jobs, there would be no one to mentor, and so mentors wouldn't be needed. But I think that actually in the age of AI, this role could become even more important. AI tools are getting better, but people still need guidance, and people will always need human guidance. If there are AI tools out there, they need people to guide them on how to use these tools. And they also need people for career guidance, that mentorship, not just in terms of learning skills, but the human side of mentorship, in terms of building your career in different ways, the human side of things. Thinking about career growth and team dynamics and adapting to change. Mentors and leaders will play a critical role in helping teams and people navigate this transition to working more with AI. So you're not just answering questions about code, but you're also helping navigate this new way of working. You're teaching people about how to work effectively with AI tools, about how to get the most out of them, and also things around security and best practices and things to be mindful of. And the human side of mentoring, I don't think will ever be replaced. Humans will still always need that human-to-human connection and people to understand their shared experience. For example, people still need coaching through so many things that are non-technical, such as dealing with imposter syndrome and, again, those team dynamics and working on those soft skills. So how can you as a developer work on this? I think, first of all, it's about learning how to mentor people, even if informally at the start. So maybe you're a mid-level developer and there are things you can do that can help out a junior developer. Again, sort of linking back to that idea of being able to communicate and explain things to people. But this takes it a little further, and being able to support them and being able to mentor them and guide them. And through this, you can also share your experience. And if there's anything you've learned that you think could be useful to other people, think about how you can share this with them and how you can kind of become a leader in a certain area. If there's something you've read about, maybe think about creating systems or documentation or sessions where people can understand more about what you've learned and how people can follow in your journey. Even if informal at first, this can all help up to you having a little bit more influence over the people around you and how you can kind of become a leader in one small area. Become that go-to person for a specific topic. And as with everything, stay up to date on current trends and things that are changing in the industry. So I think the developers that will thrive will be the ones who stay curious, who think beyond the code, who connect with people, and who evolve with the tools and work with new tools rather than against them. I'd love to know which type of developer you resonate with the most, and let me know if you think there are any other skills I've missed off the list. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully see you next time.